We're going to do a Scofflaw. That's a funny name. Where does it come from?
So the story behind the Scofflaw is one of my favorites in terms of how a cocktail gets named. Basically, in the middle of Prohibition in the United States, so in 1924, the Boston Herald ran a competition amongst its readers to see if they could come up with a word that meant somebody who didn't pay attention to Prohibition, who continued to drink alcohol even though it was illegal. And the winning entry out of 25,000 different entries into that competition was the word Scofflaw. So to celebrate the creation of this new word that meant somebody who drank during Prohibition, regardless of the law, Harry's American bar in Paris came up with the Scofflaw cocktail. So that's what we're gonna make.
I'd like to know what some of the other entries were as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd probably be a pretty funny list.
Yeah.
I like it because it sounds so 1920s. It's like, yeah, Scofflaw. This is another great example of where whiskey cocktails, and American whiskey cocktails in particular, can actually be really bright and fresh and summery and fruity. I think that it's important to remember that people tend to think of whiskey cocktails as being quite dark and rich and wintry, but in the United States, where so many classic cocktails were invented, whiskey was the base for all of them, no matter what the season was or what your flavor was. So there's actually some really, really great, bright, fresh American whiskey cocktails out there, and this is definitely one of my favorites. So because we are going for that sort of brighter, drier feeling with this cocktail, we're gonna start with rye whiskey. We're just gonna use wild Turkey Rye. Nice and easy going, pretty approachable, easy to come by, good price point, so a good thing to use for cocktails.
Yeah.
We're gonna do 50 mils of this, so not quite 2 shots. And next we're going to use some Noilly Pratt dry vermouth. Do you have any opinions about this particular vermouth as opposed to the Dolan that we used for the last one?
I reckon the Dolan's a little bit more citrusy. This one I find a little bit more herbaceous. So kind of works nicely with the pomegranate and the Grenadine. But yeah, basically just kind of giving you a couple of options because they are both pretty approachable price-wise, fairly widely available. Obviously your martini and things would work as well. Cinzano, fine too. Yeah.
So whatever dry vermouth you've got around is going to work well for this drink.
Yeah.
And we're going to do 25 mils of that, so 2 to 1 whiskey to vermouth.
Kelly's not been behind the bar for a while.
Now I'm behind the bar with Cara Divine. Then for the sweet element of this drink, which is also going to give it a beautiful pink color when we shake it up, we're going to use some Grenadine. I feel like Grenadine is really one of those things that's worth investing in, yeah?
Yes. So Grenadine is a pomegranate syrup, basically. You can buy it, you can make it, but if you are buying it, then get some good quality stuff that actually has pomegranate in it. You can get some pretty kind of nasty fluorescent, just really sugary sweet ones, which are going to completely, mask all of the nice things that you're putting in here.
Yeah, red cordial is definitely not a good replacement for real Grenadine.
But also it's really easy to make. You basically just want to do like 1 part of pomegranate juice with 1 part sugar and boil it, well not boil it, but simmer it on the stove for a while until it kind of reduces to a syrupy consistency. It's also nice, I'll quite often add a little bit of orange blossom and a little bit of pomegranate molasses in there as well, and it just kind of rounds it out and gives you a few different nuances going on.
Definitely. So just a little bit of that syrup, because it's made with all of those other things, is going to give some really nice sort of fruit and floral characteristics to this drink as well. So we've got about 10 mils of that to go in there. Next thing that's going to go into this drink, again, to give a little bit more complexity and a little bit of bitterness as well, is some orange bitters. So we're just going to do a couple of dashes of that, and that's going to give you a really nice kind of aromatic note to this drink as well, sort of hitting all the points of the palate. And then, of course, we need some citrus because it's a really bright, fresh style of cocktail. So I'm just going to squeeze some fresh lemon juice. Alright, so we're going to do about 15 mils of lemon juice in this one. You don't need heaps because most of those other ingredients are already quite dry. Just get our lemon twist ready for the garnish. I'm gonna give this guy a shake. Get our chilled glass out. Should probably give it a taste, eh?
I reckon. Good. So zingy.
So zingy. Lovely, bright, fresh colour.
I mean, it is a true fact that all of the best drinks are pink.
It's true. And then, you know, squeeze our lemon twist over the top, get those oils out. And there we go. There is a Scofflaw cocktail.
Thank you. This makes me want the sun to come out.
It's really great to hear from you and see what you're enjoying, so any comments and likes and shares are greatly appreciated.